Hello students, today we are going to learn about first chapter of 9th standard, which is number system. Okay, so in maths we have numbers, different kind of numbers. So we need to learn about what those numbers are called and what kind of they are. So my first kind of number is what? Naturals number. Natural numbers, right? These numbers are what? They start from 1, 2, 3 and goes till infinity. So basically these are also called as my counting numbers because our counting starts from 1. Whenever you are asked to count anything, you start with 1. So this is my natural number. So first set of numbers is natural numbers, which starts from 1. Now if you include 0 in this natural numbers, if you include 0 means all natural number plus 0 also there, then we call it as whole number. Why it is a whole number? Because it will complete the counting also, correct? Because if 0 is not there, how are we going to count everything? 100, 200. So to include those numbers, we have got whole numbers, right? Next form is, now we know how to represent these numbers, right? So suppose on a number line, right, this is what? 0. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, right, and so on. Now what is on the left hand side of the 0? We call it as negative numbers. -1, -2, -3 and so on. So negative numbers, 0 and positive numbers. These three forms our third set, which is known as integers. Okay, now let us take a look at symbols also. Natural number is denoted by n, whole number is by w, integer is by z. Okay, because in some other language zahlen is the word where z is got from, and that zahlen means to count. So integers are represented by z. Okay, and on number line we represent all the numbers like this. Okay, so these three numbers we are aware of. Now do we have more numbers? What about this in between 1 and 2, or in between 0 and 1? Suppose we want another number which is a half, or you can say 0.5, right? So where to put that number? Or suppose 5/4. Where is this number on the number line? So basically these all numbers are there in number line in between any two integers. Okay, so we will introduce a new kind of number here, which is called as rational number. So my fourth is rational number. Now let us understand about this number. These three numbers we know, correct? Let us understand about this rational number. First of all, this number is of the form p upon q. What is p and q? I'll just let you know. This p and q are integers. P and q are what? Integers. Okay, so the condition is that q is not equal to 0. Why it is like that? Because when q is 0, in maths we don't have anything 0 in denominator. we don't have denominator as 0. So whenever denominator is 0, we term it as not defined, because there is no definition of a number in which the denominator is 0. So the condition is that my denominator should not be equal to 0, right? And the third one is PQR co-prime. Now what is the meaning of co-prime? Co-prime means that only one can cut both the numbers. I will give you an example here. Suppose I have 5 upon 10. Okay. Now we can reduce this number into a standard form, which is known as 1 by 2, because we can cut this by 5. 5 ones are 5 and 5 twos are 10. So this number 5 by 10 can be reduced to a standard form 1 by 2. Now if you want to reduce it further, nothing can happen, right? Now you say that 1 can divide both of them. So if I divide all these number by 1, you will get the same number, 1 by 2. So it cannot be reduced further. So this P by Q is basically what? In standard form. It means only 1 can divide both of them. So 5 by 10 is not a rational number, but 1 by 2 is a rational number. So what is 5 by 10? 5 by 10 is basically equivalent rational number. In rational number only, we call it equivalent rational number, right? They are equivalent to what? Our original rational number 1 by 2. So just like 1 by 2, we have other rational number like 3 by 4, 5 by 7. These are all rational numbers, and hence only one can cut both of numerator and denominator here. So need to understand what is rational number. Rational number is in the form of P by Q. What is P by P and Q? P and Q are integers. It can be negative also. -2 by 3, like this also. Okay, so P and Q are integers. Condition is Q should not be equal to 0 and P and Q should be in the standard form. So PQ, we call it as co-prime. What is the meaning of co-prime? That they don't have any other factor than 1. HCF is 1. If you know what is HCF, HCF is highest common factor. So if HCF of two number is 1, it means they cannot be reduced further. Okay, so rational number. Now we need to learn the rational number in details, how to represent that on number line and how to find rational number between any two irrational number or integers. Now understand this thing. This whole number, we call it rational number, symbol is what? Q. Okay. Now if I make a circle, suppose this is a circle of rational number. Okay. In the rational number, this integers will also come. Why? Because any integer, suppose I am calling 4, it can be written in the form of 4 upon 1, which is what? P by Q form, correct? And standard also. So all integers, all whole numbers, all natural numbers can be written in the form of rational numbers. So rational number includes everything. So this is the biggest circle right now. So Q is my rational number, the biggest circle in which integers are also there. Now in integers you have whole numbers. So whole number will be like this, and in whole number natural number will also come, right? So this is called as number family. So we have natural number, then we add 0, we will get whole number, then we will add all negative numbers, we get integers, then we add all fractions, we will get rational numbers. Okay. Okay, now let us understand how to find rational number in between two rational number or two integers or anything. Suppose there are two methods basically. Okay, method 1 and method 2. What are we learning? We are learning to find rational numbers in between two rational number or integers. Suppose my question is that suppose there are two rational number, we call it 2 by 3 and 3 by 5. Okay, or let us take two integers, suppose 3 and 5, and we want to find out 5 rational number in between these two numbers. Okay, 5, 10, 15, n numbers you can find out. Okay, so let us understand. First we will take 5 numbers. We will take, suppose we take one number. Okay, we want to find one number between these two numbers. So for this we already know that 4 is in between 3 and 5. So the method is, this first method is like that you need to first add those numbers and divide it by 2. You will get correct. So one number I can find out easily. Similarly, if you want to do this, 2 by 3 plus 3 by 5 upon 2, so you will get how 10 plus 9 upon 15 upon 2, 19 by 30. So this number will be in between this 19 upon 30. Correct. Now we want more numbers, so what we can do, we can do the same method with these two. So if you add this 3 plus 4 by 2, you will get what? 7 by 2. So your 7 by 2 is here. If you add 4 and 5, basically by adding numbers and dividing it by 2, you get the central number between them, the midpoint of those two numbers. Now, so in this way you can keep on finding any numbers. Here also, if you add these two and divide by 2, you will get another number here. You add these two and divide by 2, you get another number here. If you want more number, again add the numbers, any two numbers, and divide them by 2. So this is my first method. Okay, so what is this method called as? Suppose there are two numbers R and S, so you need to find a number in between these two. Just add these two numbers and divide it by 2. Now let us learn about second method. Suppose we have 3 and 5. Okay, so in denominator both have what? 1, and we require to find, suppose, 5 rational number in between these two. What we will do, we will multiply both. Since only 5 are required, so what we will do, we will multiply it both the numerator and denominator by 10. How? See, 3 into 10, 1 into 10. So these number will become 30 by 10 and 50 by 10. Okay, now you can find there are 20 numbers in between these two numbers, 31 by 10, 32 by 10, 33 by 10, 34 by 10, and so on. So you can find 5 numbers or 10 numbers like that. In similar way, you can multiply it by 100 to get more than 10 numbers, multiply it by larger number. So basically it will be very convenient if you use this method, okay, because multiplying by 10 is easy. So here also, if you want to find 2 by 3 is there and 3 by 5, first of all you need to make the denominator same. Here the denominator was already 1, so here also if you want to make the denominator same, what you will do, you will find LCM. So 5 or 3 LCM is 15. So what we will do first, multiply by here 5 and here 3. So it is 10 by 15 and 9 by 15. Correct? Now if you want to find 5 numbers, what I will do? I will just multiply by 10. So it will become like this. Now in between 90 and 100 we have 10 numbers. 91, 92, 93, 94. So in that way you can find the other numbers also. So these are the two methods how to find rational number between any two rational numbers. Okay, now we have learned about the 4 number system, which is natural number, whole number, integer and rational number. And the rational number was in the form of what? P by Q. So the question is there any number left which are not in the form of P by Q, which are not integers, not whole number, not natural numbers? Yes, we have. Okay, so there are still some numbers which we cannot make it in the form of P by Q. Those numbers are called as irrational number. Since they are not rational, so they are called as irrational number. Now, irrational number is, you will find it, for example, square root 2, square root 3, square root 5, any non-perfect square root, right? If you take square root 4, you will get an integer or a rational number. So root 4 is not irrational, root 2 is irrational, root 3 is irrational, root 5 is irrational. Similarly, root 6 is irrational, root 7, root 8, root 9 is not irrational because it is root 9 is equal to 3. So if you get any number out of the square root sign, then it is not an irrational number, right? Similarly, we have pi, you know, the value is 3.14, approximate value is 3.14, but it is a irrational number, right? So today we will learn more about this irrational number in standard 10th, but right now we are focused on how to represent these irrational number on a number line. For that, you need to understand one theorem which we already have learned, which is known as Pythagoras Theorem, right? Pythagoras Theorem says that hypotenuse square is equal to sum of square of other two sides. So P is perpendicular, B is base, so we have this as Pythagoras Theorem. Now let us understand how we can represent my irrational numbers. Suppose we need to represent root 2. What we will do, on a number line, okay, the first we will mark 0, then let us say it is 1. Okay, now the same distance, this, if I make a perpendicular line on this under the same measurement, if this is my 1 centimeter, I'll make this also 1 centimeter. Okay, suppose if you want to make it 5 centimeter, make this also 5 centimeter, means same measurement, right? And then what you will do, just join this. So if this is 1, this is 1, by Pythagoras theorem this will be root 2. We can find out h square is equal to 1 square plus 1 square, which is 1 plus 1, which is 2. So h is equal to root 2. Correct? So this length is basically what? Root 2. Now if you measure this length by your compass or rounder and put it like this, mark it same measurement on the number line here, so you are getting it here. So this length is basically what? My root 2. So on number line we have captured root 2 also. Correct? Now let us understand how to find out other irrational number. Okay, so in root 2 what we have done, we have taken 1 centimeter as on number line, 1 centimeter perpendicular to the number line at 1, and then we joined 0 with that point and measured the length of this diagonal or hypotenuse, and then what we have done, we have marked the same measurement on the number line to represent root 2. Now to go it further, we need to find root 3. So what we will do, we know now root 2, so the first step will be same, 1 centimeter, join this, so this will be by root 2. Now what you can do, there are two ways actually. Either you can use this root 2 as your measurement, or we can use the same line as a measurement. So if we want to use same line, what we will do, we will make a perpendicular line at this point, again 1 centimeter. Root 2 is already there, 1 centimeter I have made perpendicular on this, and then you join. This is my root 3. How? Again by using Pythagoras theorem, one side is root 2, another side is 1 centimeter. So h square is equal to 1 square plus root 2 square, which we will give 1 plus 2, which is 3. So h is equal to root 3. Right? So this is one way of finding the length of irrational number. Now again, by using rounder or compass, you can find the measurement this and then again mark it here. So you will get, this is my root 3. Correct? Or the second method is like, you can use it directly, the root 2 measurement, but you need to first find out root 2. Right? This is 0, this is 1. Suppose I did this, and suppose this is my root 2. So what we can do, on root 2 we can make another perpendicular line which is again 1 centimeter, and then next time we will join this point, and then again by rounder or compass, this is my root 3. Now if you add again on root 3 1 centimeter, you will get root 4, which is 2. If on root 4 you can draw similar way, you can go it further, right? So this will be a neat representation. Okay, otherwise if you use the earlier method, what will happen, 0 1, first it will go like this, then it will go like this, then it will go like this, then it will go like this, kind of, it will make a circle. Right here you can directly represent your numbers on the number line. So these are the two methods for representation of irrational numbers.